Today we're going to make a very clever little centerpiece using two vases. One has to be smaller than the other, small enough that when you put it into the vase, there's room around this edge to add your candy. And you can use whatever kind of candy you want. Today we're going to use peppermints because we're doing a Christmas vase, or you could use some kind of old-fashioned candies. I love the ribbon candies if you have the space. Or, during other times of the year you could use Halloween candies like candy corn. So I'm going to show you how to make this wonderful vase.
Okay.
So to make this very clever centerpiece that everyone's going to want to know how to do, just use a little piece of floral tape. This you can get at any craft store or florist store, or you can actually use something just like Play-Doh would probably work, but I like to use floral tape because it's just a little sturdier. Just take a little wad of that and put that in the bottom of the big vase. And just stick it there in the bottom like that. And now you're going to center this vase in the middle of that, and that will just push it down and it'll just kind of steady it for you until you get your candy in. Now don't put your water in until you get the candy in, because it might go overboard and then you've got kind of a mess. So we're going to go ahead and put our candy in, alright? So we're going to use just these wrap candies, and this is about the easiest candy you can do because they're wrapped and they just fall right in there. And you've left enough room around. Now you can do this with any kind of vase. If you want to use the big ribbon candy, you just need to leave more room around this edge. But we're just going to use this today and we're going to fill it up. So you're not going to see that vase that's on the inside. And this works really well with candy corn for Halloween, or actually really pretty with jelly beans in the spring. And you can see that your candy is actually supporting that vase inside as well. I mean, your little bit of floral tape really got it secured, so you don't need to worry about it. But if you need to push that down a little bit, you can just use some scissors if you want to rearrange them a little bit. But really, they pretty much fall in place. And the main purpose you're trying to do is to cover up the inside vase, because in just a minute we're going to add our water and our flowers, and you won't be able to tell that there's a vase in there, and people will wonder how you've got water in there with all that candy. When we've done this in the spring with jelly beans, it's really pretty to put tulips in there. Now we're doing this for Christmas, so you could put poinsettia stems. We're going to use some red roses today. Okay, now let's see if we like how that looks. There might be a little spot here and there. If there is, we're just going to push it down with a pair of scissors or with your fingers. In the bottom. And we're going to pull that over. I think that's looking pretty good. Maybe we'll add a few more at the top. Like I say, you can use any kind of candy you want. I'm going to leave the top so you can see what I'm doing here. I won't go all the way to the top. I'll finish that up in a minute. Now we're going to very carefully pour our water into that center vase. Okay, so we've got our water in there. And now we are going to be using some red and green. We've got just a little wisp of some evergreen here. I'm going to put that in the top, just sort of gently coming out to look very Christmassy. And then to get the red that we want, we've just got some red roses today. Now you can, of course, use, I think that's going to be a little bit long. I'll just make that a little shorter. You can use poinsettia, just the blooms, and put in there. I've done that too, and that's really pretty. So here we go. Here's our roses. I'm going to put a couple more roses in there, and this becomes a very simple centerpiece. I like to call these 5-minute centerpieces, because lots of times when I have guests or parties, I get everything done and then I think, oh, I'm going to have a pretty little centerpiece. Well, this is one you can do in 5 minutes or less. And we have a whole section of 5-minute or less centerpieces on our website. And if you want to order the project sheet, just go to the order section of our website, whatiscarolmaking.com.